Well, due to popular request, or rather the only request I received in my last video, I will be showing you today how to get the basic racial motifs, and these are the basic motifs that you start off learning as any of the races in the Three Alliances or the Imperial. Now what you want to do to actually get these motifs, these will be blue colored by the way, these motifs you will get off in the starting zone, the faction you'll start as. So say you start as the Ebonheart Pact, you'll get in those first 5 zones. And what you want to basically do is look around for these nightstands, these trunks, these backpacks, and cupboards like that. And these places will contain a chance to drop the motif page. And you can find these in barrels where you have to steal from, and you can find these and stuff in the wild. And the places where you don't find them, though, are places where you'll find provisioner materials, so like barley, honey, and all that. Those will be absolutely useless for you. But a strange thing is that you can actually find them in, ancient elf, or not ancient elf, but Dwemer ruins and ruins like that. So you can find it in Daedric ruins as well, and urns. And if you go look in these urns, you'll generally just get lockpicks, gear that's worth no gold, or some bad jewelry. But you also have the chance to get Dwemer scrap if you go to a Dwemer ruin and look for it there. And you have the chance to find the Imperial motif. And going on to the other motifs, besides the basic ones that you can get that are blue colored and that are extremely cheap on the auction house, I recommend if you don't want to farm them, just go buy them. They're like 400 gold a pop, super cheap. But like I was saying, other than that, you have the Ancient Elf, the Daedric, Primal, and Barbaric motif that you can find. And now these you can find in the silver and gold zones, and these are zones that you go to after you're done with the main storyline and after Cold Harbor. And you'll basically have to be looking in the same areas where you'd be looking for the basic racial motif. So where you'd find Orc is where you might find Ancient Elf, Daedric, Barbaric, or Primal in the silver or gold zones. Now from what I understand, silver zones, the first zones you go to after the main storyline, those 1 through CP 50 areas, I was trying to say veteran rank, but no, it's CP now, and you go through those zones, and I believe those only have Primal and Barbaric. Once you go to the gold zones, that's where you get the more fancier motifs with the Daedric and Ancient Elf. And you just look in the same areas as you would to find the Orc and stuff, but as you'd expect, they would have a lower drop chance. Now along with this, you also have the chance to find the legendary Imperial motif, which is all in one book. You can find them in the urns of Dwemer ruin, or you can find them in desk in any of the major cities. And with all of that, there is only one left, and that would be the Dwemer. And Dwemer, the only way you can actually obtain those is through pages. There is a chance you can get the full book, but it's very unlikely that you can actually get the full book. But you basically find these in the urns or a chest inside the Dwemer ruins, and those have a chance to drop the pages themselves. And once you're in there, you just look around, and generally you only get 1 page per dungeon until a loot in the area or the dungeon resets. So what my advice is, if you're trying to farm those, hit multiple Dwemer ruins, and there's at least 1 in every zone from what I understand, so just hop around those and you'll find a couple of pages. But if you actually have a lot of gold to spare, which is, you don't really need a whole lot of gold, maybe like 20 or so thousand, you can get all the Dwemer pages and buy them off the auction house. They're extremely cheap these days. And along with that, you can buy all the blue motifs off the auction house for like 400, 300 per. Those are super cheap. The only ones that will cost you a pretty penny are, like I said, those purple ones, the Barbaric, Primal, Daedric, and Ancient Elf. Those will cost you roughly 10,000 to 20,000 per. And that's a little bit more expensive, but if you have the dough and you don't want to grind, it's a decent place to go look for them. And along with grinding these pages, you'll actually get the style gems needed to actually craft these. So you will find Daedric cards, Ultimer, Molybdenum, and all the other fancy names for all the other stuff. And I think that will be about it. So make sure to subscribe if you haven't. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments. I'll answer them to the best of my ability. And I'll see you all next time, guys. Bye-bye.